So for some reason this morning I had the horrible idea to plug in what I assumed was bad, broken, damaged, horrible, cursed, haunted hardware into seemingly perfectly decent, fine, normal hardware and hope that they got along. And here's what happened.
How cursed am I? This is the destroyed controller card. Look at the state of it. I just gave it a cleaning with some alcohol. I have not done anything to like the header pins yet, but boy howdy am I about to.
It let me configure the floppy drive. It thinks I have a floppy drive. I haven't cleaned it yet. I'm just about to, see if it'll boot off flash floppy because, wow, wouldn't that be neat? Let's push F10. Floppy drive 0 failure. Of course. That doesn't surprise me too much. I mean, this controller card is awful. Did it even read? I mean, just the disc pulsing I don't think is anything to do with it. I think I need to be seeing this LED right here. Yeah. I saw it light up. I have to set this to drive B, I think. Hold on. It said floppy drive 0 failure. I saw it blink for a second, but it wasn't on camera. Of course it wasn't. Oh, will it not boot off B? That would drive me insane. Alright, hold on again. Well, let's see if this thing even blinks when I reset it first. It did not appear to. Alright, hold on. Move the floppy emulator to the cable, select point for A, and we are booting into DOS. So with the advent of the Lazarus controller card, I'm just so mind blown that I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm going to clean this thing like crazy, but first I'm also going to clean this thing like crazy. I'm going to remove all the socketed chips, the RAM of course. I'm got all sorts of goodies over here for cleaning: distilled water and baking soda, isopropyl alcohol, vinegar, all the usual suspects, I suppose. But the very, very, very first thing that has to be done is you must go. It is time. I'm not even going to bother with desoldering it. You're just straight up coming off this board. You've done more than your share of damage. Wow, that took some of the board with it, didn't it? That's probably bad. Anyway, I'm not going to be recording the entire cleaning process. There's a million of those on the internet, and mine would probably be the worst one out there, so just don't even look for that. It's not going to happen. This will just have, before and after type stuff. The demon has been freed. Probably took me 15 minutes just to get those two stupid jumper headers off of J10 and JP1. They were like glued on. Alright, well, quite literally none of the socketable chips are moving at all. They are just... I'm not even going to get close to risking pulling the chips out because I don't have a proper chip puller. So I'm going to leave those there and clean extremely carefully around them. Motherboard and controller card have been very gingerly treated with distilled white vinegar to try and neutralize any remaining acid. I was very, very cautious to stick to areas that were obviously damaged and surroundings. Tried real hard to avoid getting it anywhere I shouldn't, but this is literally my first time doing any of this junk, so I don't know what I'm doing. But honestly, these do look a little better. I mean, there's definitely some of the green that's been removed from some of those pins on that ISA slot. A lot of those lifted. I don't. Yeah, that's still bad. This card looks a lot better. Still a couple green pins, but hopefully the sodium bicarbonate and distilled water paste should help clean those up, because that's what's coming up next. That sodium bicarbonate paste is the most annoying stuff in the world, and I don't even think it helped that much, so I don't recommend it, but I probably just did it wrong. Okay, that took hours. I hate the sodium bicarbonate paste so much. It is awful. It doesn't really do that good a job at removing the corrosion. I found that rubbing alcohol was better for my needs, because, like, I'm just never going to be able to use that ISO slot again. It's just not a possible thing. These are not actual bodge wires. They're just basically so I know where, like, good bodging points are for those traces, because out of those 3 screwy things, that third one actually held up just fine without any bodges. But continuity tests, like, I can't do this one-handed or anything, but, you know, multimeter and all that. So I promise those connect now, when they did not without those wires. So actual bodge wires will be applied before this is at all, like, doing anything, but this is just literally to make sure that I can figure out where they need to go. This cleaned up fairly decently as well. A lot of the corrosion on the pins is, like, completely gone, so that's really nice. The back end of it still looks like death, but oh well, it's at least a little shinier now. So I still don't know what the deal is with the new controller card I got. Like, I would really think this thing should work. Like, did I damage it in the explosion, or what happened? But I don't know. So I'm gonna try a couple things. I'm not trying this yet. This is still on the back burner. But yeah, I'm gonna try a couple things with the controller cards. See if I can't figure out what the deal is with that one, because I'd really like it to work. But I'm glad that that one did anyway. So fingers crossed I didn't destroy it with vinegar and distilled water and baking soda and 99% isopropyl and a lot of scrubbing and toothbrushes and Q-tips and... Alright, we are booted into DOS again. See what happens if I go to C. Yeah, shocking that. I can't type one-handed. Something's wrong with my L button, too. I think that's going to be 0. Sure. Error occurred. Neat. If you know detail error message, see Borland 2 reference library book. No, I don't know Borland C. Okay, hold on. Let me try a different format thing. Hold on. Yeah, it's just sitting here. It does not like when I push escape, and the activity light on this thing has not turned off, so I think it's trying to do something, and I don't think I should stop it. Yeah, this doesn't surprise me too much. I probably screwed up setting up the disk in the BIOS. My fault. Vogons is the best website in the world for any sort of vintage computer stuff. Like, I just found this amazing little program called IDE Info, which tells me the exact geometry of what this CF card should be in BIOS, so I'm about to go set that. Hold on. Okay, so F-Disk only gave me 512 megs on my 2 gig CF card, but to be perfectly honest, I've only ever ran a DOS computer with a grand total of about 200 megs of space, so this is still twice as much as what I'm used to. Let's set up some DOS. Yeah, let's replace my current version of DOS. That time's a little not right, but we'll fix that later. See DOS. Oh man. Look at the flash floppy go. Read those tracks. It is just as slow as a floppy drive should be. It's unreal. Hasn't even touched the pretend hard drive yet. Oh, wait. Did it? I think it blinked the activity light literally when I panned down to it for the first time. Um, we're still going strong here, and we are installing DOS. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to recover the other gig and a half on the CF card. It's not like I'll ever fill it. This is DOS, so all right. Well, be back in a minute. While DOS continues to install, please let me show you the glam girls on the wall. We did have someone living in this room, and we've never taken their decor down. In fact, I think these might have actually predated us owning the house, because I don't think the person who was living in this room would have put these there. And I'm literally just noticing these things for like the first time in, 12 years of owning this house. I'm really observant. Just so you know, Flash Floppy absolutely works. Let the disk switch happen. It is now on disk number 2. And there it goes. Look at it go. It's real weird when DOS says to remove all floppy disks from your computer, and that means to pull a USB drive out of an emulator. Like, I don't know how comfortable I am with that, but look at this. This is DOS. I mean, I'm in DOS. I think my USB to PS2 to PS2 to AT keyboard adapter chain is maybe a little not so great, but oh my gosh. I also really miss tab completion in the more recent versions of Command and pretty much every shell in the world. Edit shouldn't take that long. What's happening? Like, there's no activity on you. Edit should not take that long. I think something's still not quite right, but I mean, at least it's DOS. Alright, so DOS is now installed, but edit and QBasic, which is also just edit, basically stop the computer from doing anything. Like, there's no determinable activity that I can see. There's no disk activity. There's nothing even plugged into the floppy emulator. No disk activity up there. But it just kind of hangs out. It doesn't respond to key presses. No control C, no command break, or control break, excuse me. This is not a Macintosh. It does respond to control alt delete, of course. Because, I mean, that's basically a full-out interrupt at that point. But, like, why doesn't it run edit?